Hi guys, in this video, we're going to be going over multiplication using the partial product strategy. Now, I know I look a little silly in this video, but remember today was twin day, and I wanted to show you guys my twin again. Remember Callie? We were twins today. Okay, so she's gonna go back to eating her food, and we are gonna get started on our math. So, what is the partial product method? Well, a partial product is when you multiply a number in turn with each digit of another, where each digit maintains its place value. Now, the key word I want you guys to notice is place value. Okay, because we've been talking about that a lot in class, and it is very important here. So, looking at this equation, 23 times 42, it becomes all of these different partial products, okay? Because when we break apart 23, and for example, 23 is really just 20 plus 3, because the 2 is in the tens value and the 3 is in the ones value, and 42 is really just 40 plus 2, again, because the 4 is in the tens value and the 2 is in the ones value place. Okay? Another way to think about partial products is that it is the bridge between the area model method of multiplication and the standard method of multiplication. So let's look at this equation as an example, 352 times 28. Now, as you can see, I broke it up using area model. I have 352 broken up into 300 plus 50 plus 2, and 28 broken up into 20 plus 8. Now, in each of the little boxes here, you have the equations written up. Now, what we would do in area model is we would solve for the answers of each of those miniature equations to solve for the big product of the original equation. Now we would line them up and then we would add up all the numbers. Well, guess what? Did it here, and guess what this is? This is the partial product method right here. You just take the numbers and you line them up just like an area model, and then you would have the numbers and then you would add them all up together. So let's do that right now. Okay, 300 times 20 is 6,000. 50 times 20 is 1,000. 2 times 20 is 40. 300 times 8 is 2,400. 50 times 8 is 400. And 2 times 8 is 16. And then we put all those numbers together and we add it up. And we have 6, 5, 8, 9. So our answer to 352 times 28 is 9,856. Okay. Here's our next question. 120 times 25 times 40. You will find this question on page 62 of your math workbook. Specifically, it is question number 7. Okay, now, first thing that we need to ask, though, which it does ask in the question, does it matter what order you multiply the numbers? Short answer, no. It does not matter in multiplication what order you do it. Because if you remember what we've talked about in class is that in addition and multiplication, it does not matter in which order you do it from left to right, up or down, side to side. It only matters in division and subtraction, because in division and subtraction, it changes what answer you get. So let's look back at 120 times 25 times 40, okay? It could be that, it could be the 120 times 40 times 25. It could be 25 times 40 times 125. It could be 40 times 125 times 20. Whoops, not 125, 120. 120 times 25. It doesn't matter. They all equal the same thing. So let us go about solving the question itself. Okay. So I have 120 times 25. That's where I'm going to start off. Okay. Now, looking at this, the 5 is in fact a 5, and the 5 is actually a 5, but the 2 is actually a 20. Because remember, an area model, that is really 20 plus 5. This is 40 plus 0, and 120 is 100 plus 20 plus 0. Okay? So first thing I want to do is I'm going to write down all the different equations that I will be using to solve for my product. So I have 5 times 0 here. I'm going to have 5 times 2. But that is not just a 2. That is a 20 because the 2 is in a tens place. Okay? And then 5 times the 1, but again, that 1 is not truly a 1. That is a 100. Okay? Next, we're going to switch colors so we're not confused. Then we do the 2 times the 0. But remember, that 2 is not just any 2. That 2 is really a 20 because that 2 is in a tens place value. And then we have 2 times 2, but it really is 20 times 20 because of place value. And then we have this 2 times that 1, but that is really a 20 times 100. Okay, because the 2 is in the tens place value and the 1 is in the hundreds place value. Now we solve for all of these. And 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 100 is 500. 20 times 0 is 0. 20 times 20 is 400. And 20 times 100 is 2,000. Add that all together. I'm going to write the answer over here. We have 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 5 plus 4 is 9. 2 plus nothing is 2. So our answer is 2,900. Okay, but we are not done. In fact, I probably should have written that smaller. I'm going to erase that. And in fact, write that smaller. $29,900. Scratch that. It's not 29,100. I did my math wrong. Bad, Miss Mordite. Okay. Because 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So our actual answer is 3,000. Okay, so then we have 3,000 times 40. Now, there are lots of different ways that we could go about this. And the way I'm going to practice this is I'm going to show you guys the practice and remind you of the practice that we do of multiplying things with zeros at the very end. I'm going to highlight all these zeros and put them away. So I have 4 zeros, and I'm just going to put them away for now. Okay? And then I'm going to go back and do 3 times 4 because that is all that is left. And I know 3 times 4 is 12. And then these 4 zeros are going to come back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have my final answer of 120,000. So 120 times 25 times 40 is 120,000. Okay, here is number 9 on page 62 of your math workbooks. Okay, a library bookshelf holds 156 books. There are 15 bookshelves in a certain section of the library. How many books can the library place on these bookshelves? Okay, let's do cubes. What is the important numbers that we need to know? 156 and 15. Okay, there are 156 bookshelves can go on 15. We are adding 156 together 15 times. So it is essentially 156 times 15 because we are adding 156 together 15 times. Now, let us write this out in partial product, using partial products, okay? So we have 156 and 15. Okay, that 5 is really a 5, but that 1 is really a 10. Okay, because remember, let's scratch that. Let's start over here, ready? So 156 is really 100 plus 50 plus 6, and 15 is really 10 plus 5 because of place value, okay? So we have 5 times 6, 5 times 50, and 5 times 100. Then we have 10 times 6, 10 times 50, 10 times 100. Okay, now I'm going to write out all the answers to this and solve it. So 5 times 6 is 30, 50 times 5 is 250, 5 times 100 is 500, 10 times 6 is 60, 10 times 50 is 500, 100 times 10 is 1,000. Now, none of those numbers line up on place value, so I'm going to write again over here all my numbers. So I have 30 and 250 and 500, and then I have 60, and then I have another 500, and then I have 1,000. Okay, I'm going to add all those together. That entire ones column is full of 0, so I know it's going to be 0. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. So the 4, whoa, The 4 goes there, and the 1 goes up. So I have 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 3 goes down here. 1 goes up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer to the question is 2,340 books, because they were asking us about books in a bookshelf. And that's partial products. As you can see, it is extremely similar to area model. And the reason why we are doing this is because it is the bridge to help us understanding standard. Because standard, the way it is taught, is that it's like, this is the rule, this is how it goes, and this is why. Or this is the rule, and like, it is the way it is. There's not a lot of explanation as to why, which is why we did area model first, and now we are doing partial products, and coming up really soon is going to be standard. And your parents are going to be very knowledgeable of that, because standard is the way they and I learned how to do math when we were your age. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will see you all in class.